Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the MetricStream's GRC Summit 2016. I'm Ian Halliday-Pegg. I'm Regional Vice President of GRC Solutions for MetricStream Europe, and it's my pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies for the next 2 days. Now, I feel hugely honored to welcome you here to this MetricStream GRC Summit, and we are delighted in this room to welcome MetricStream partners, our customers, industry analysts, industry practitioners, and representatives from the media. It's a truly international event. We've got, and I'm going to have to refer to the list here, we've got delegates from right across Europe: Germany, France, Luxembourg, Spain, Norway, Switzerland, and of course the UK. Slightly further afield, from Slovenia, Turkey, Kosovo, and the Ukraine, and right across now Ghana, South Africa, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Japan. Apologies if I missed anyone out. We also provide a very special welcome to the delegates here in this room, but also to those of us joining live online. We are streaming this event live online, and we do encourage you to invite your colleagues to join us at www.grc-summit.com/live. You'll find the link and details in the information you've been given. Those people joining us live will also be able to enter a contest online via Twitter, so they can win some prizes, of course. Now, since we met a year ago, we've had a continuing increase in regulatory pressures right across all regions. We've seen uncertainty driven by political changes, such as the Brexit, for instance. We've seen new general data protection regulations. We've seen an increase in cyber attacks, the recent SWIFT attacks. We've seen the denial of service attacks on the DNS servers. And in response to this, we're starting to see cybersecurity being formalized at a regulatory level. Examples of this being the NISA regulations in the UAE, and both the Australian federal government and the G7 releasing IT regulatory policies. So with this as a background, our theme for the next 2 days will be leading with GRC. And by leading with GRC, we mean to preserve, protect, and perform. This is preserve corporate integrity by building world-class GRC programs, to protect reputations and brands of our organizations today and tomorrow, and to perform by providing the regulatory and risk intelligence required to drive decision-making and performance. So, we're truly excited to have assembled at this summit a world-class field of practitioners, analysts, thought leaders, who will each bring their unique ideas and views to how organizations can lead with GRC. Now, before we have our first speakers, I've got a few important notices I have to give. We're not expecting any fire alarms or drills in the next 2 days. So if you do hear the fire alarm, we ask you to act immediately to evacuate the building. In terms of evacuation, what you'll see is you'll find that at the back and the sides of the room are the signs for the emergency exits, exit via the stairwells, and we're asked to leave the front of the building, turn left in the street, and the collection area, or the place where we must gather, is just past the Freemasons Hall in the public space up there. I also urge you to make sure that you have your mobile phones either switched off or in silent mode so we don't have any interruptions in the proceedings. So it's time for me to welcome, or for us to welcome, MetricStream's Chief Operating Officer, Gaurav Kapoor. Gaurav has overall responsibility for customer delivery, for customer advocacy, marketing, and the partner ecosystem. He's held various positions at MetricStream since its inception and has been key in all of the strategic initiatives that have helped MetricStream become a leader in governance, risk, and compliance. Prior to MetricStream, Gaurav spent a decade in the Citigroup in various marketing, finance, and operating roles, and also serves on the board of directors of another Silicon Valley technology company. He's a thought leader in the GRC space and a regular speaker at industry forums, such as the Institute of Internal Auditors, Ops Risk, and many more. And he works closely with federal and state policymakers and serves on advisory boards of technology and media companies. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome Gaurav Kapoor to the stage.
Thanks, Ian. Good morning. Good Monday morning. There's still very little energy in the room, so I'd like you to just stand up for 2 seconds. Hopefully you're energized now. Please take a seat. And like Ian said, a very big thank you to all of you to have come here. Many of you are from London, but as Ian mentioned, we also have many people here from different countries. Ian probably missed a couple of countries, so apologize for that, but thank you for coming from all across the globe. Very warm welcome. As again Ian had mentioned, a warm welcome to all our customers here, to the practitioner, to the analysts, to the government delegates, partners, and the MetricStream team, that is here serving the community today. Also, a very warm welcome to all the conservatives and liberals, the Democrats and Republicans, and the growing number of independents. We have people coming across the world, and the next 2 days, we will have a whole series of things. Hopefully, as you go through the next 2 days, there will be a lot of learning opportunities, and it is meant to provide you with community and content, collaboration with other customers that are here, other partners that are here, and on topics that are critical both in terms of your short-term, critical needs, but also as you set the journey for your long-term and medium-term requirements on the GRC journey. Nearly 6 months ago, we were in the DC Summit, which is our annual summit in the US, and over a year ago, we were here in London with a previous summit, if you will. Things have kept changing. Ian mentioned about a few things, but everything from corporate failures, capital issues, immigration turmoil that we have seen across the world, political events, cyber, ethical violations, have kept happening in the last year with little respite. Volkswagen, Brexit, GDPR, Wells Fargo, DNC hacking that we've seen over the last couple of weeks as well, they have not only increased the risk, but also the perception of risk. Obviously, bad news is always good fodder for media. What we don't realize at the back is in the last year, also thousands of companies across the world are doing their best to increase their governance, risk compliance, trying to make the whole process of GRC simplified, if you will. In today's world, you see some of these events, we've talked about these, but in today's world, leaders are also trying to keep pace with some key market shifts. Companies are trying to clearly move away from a post-assurance risk thinking to a more decision-based, performance-based risk thinking. They're also trying to ensure that as the global complex ecosystems, supply chains, demand chains, get more and more complex, how do they keep pace with all of that? We're seeing a significant movement in terms of companies trying to tame this complex ecosystem. Technology changes are huge. I mean, you look at cloud, you look at social, you look at mobile, new technologies. Bitcoin is teaching us a lot of things on what to do with blockchain, for example, and it's not easy. It's not easy to keep pace with change. And last but not the least, regulators. Regulators, who have the responsibility of governance at the fourth line of defense, if you will, they are also grappling. They are trying to figure out how to keep pace, how to keep pace with these changes, how to ensure that Uber is compliant, how to ensure that the payment technologies that are emerging across the world, they have the right amount of governance without actually compromising the innovation that it brings to the table, and many such examples. So what are we doing as MetricStream, as these changes are going through? So some things really remain constant, and it is our unwavering commitment and vision since inception of the company, to enable a better governed, more compliant, and a more risk-aware world. We are trying every day. This vision is really why all of our teams get up in the morning, charged up to do the next thing. And this is why the community is united, and we really value each and every person in this room. As many of you know, our journey, MetricStream's journey as a Silicon Valley GRC apps company started over a decade ago, even before it was called GRC. Today, more than a decade later, we have over 2,000 employees globally and thousands of others who are part of our global ecosystem, whether it's partners, whether it's content providers, our customers, the analyst community, etc. So we've got this incredible team around the world. What are we focusing on? You'll hear more about it in the next 2 days. You'll hear about technology and innovation from our chairman, from our head of products, from our chief evangelist. You'll hear about that. It has continued intensively within MetricStream around our platform and applications. We continue to make significant investments in the area of cloud, usability, reporting, big data, mobility, and embedding GRC intelligence into our apps so that it becomes easier for you to consume the applications. In the last year, more than 85% of our customers have actually adopted the cloud, which is a significant change from the last 2 years or 3 years ago. Second, customer success. Improving time to value for our customers through better products, higher quality, and sustainable programs that you're running in your companies. And in the last year, again, if you go back a few years, GRC was more complex than it is today. It's complex today as well, but we are committed to making it simple. In the last 1 year, more than 65% of our customers have adopted what we call the fast track methodology to get faster time to value because of more standardization, more content, more packaging, that we bring to the market in concert with our customers who have gone through that journey, have had their challenges, their pitfalls, but also have come out successful. And the third thing is really about the GRC journey and community. We have continued to encourage a very open community and engagement with over 400 of our customers in 27 countries through insights derived from serving them. You'll hear from many practitioners today, and I would strongly encourage you to talk to each other, whether it is a Marissa from OPAP, or it is Len from Barclays, or he's just walking in, or from Phil at UBS, and Sanjay at UBS, and Kun at UBS, or Adela from MMI, Bell from Johnson & Johnson. They're all in the room here, Mark from EDF, and many others. I'm sorry if I'm not taking your names, but many others. I'd strongly encourage that, many of these companies have gone through the journey, some tough, some easier. Strongly encourage you, to take part in the community discussions as we go through the next couple of days. Our GRC award ceremony tonight will further recognize our customers and partners who have embarked on incredible GRC journeys and achieved business value. So there's a lot of learning from them. My advice to you, spend the next 2 days, like I said, meeting, networking, and sharing this with the community. Part of our growing community is an expansive ecosystem of partners, consulting firms, system integrators, the big advisory firms, content partners, geographic partners, and Zaplet developers across the world. Our partners help ensure that we deliver more value to our customers as part of their learning process as well. And then to ensure that the global GRC community becomes more aware and more educated, between Compliance Online, which is our world-leading portal on GRC education, and the MetricStream University that we launched a couple of years ago, in the last 1 year, we have trained and educated over 10,000 people across this. We also launched our MetricStream research practice last year, which produces research reports, from insights and perspectives from hundreds of government and business leaders, and few of these reports are also available at the summit. So please take a look, and please guide us on what else you'd need, in terms of intelligence from the market. We also fully realize that this journey is not easy, and we have challenges. As a company, we have challenges, but one thing you can get from us, and it will be further strongly advocated in our other meetings as well, is that we have an unwavering commitment to the GRC market, number one. Second thing is we stand behind the success of our customers. We may have challenges, but we stand behind the success, and you will hear this from your peer community as well. And last but not the least, we are not afraid to listen carefully and invent, reinvent if required, and continue to innovate. So in this very room, if you look at it, this room is packed on a Monday morning. We're delighted to see that. You have over 50 experts and thought leaders who will be joining us as speakers. We have over 200 attendees representing over 100 companies across the globe. There are very few other communities like this in the world, and none like this in the GRC space. So please, once again, welcome, and we will strongly recommend that interact as much as you can. There are lots of breaks in between the sessions, so learn from each other, and please give us the feedback as you go through the next couple of days. I'd like to thank our partners who have also made this whole event possible. OneTrust, BitSight, Dixture. I won't go through all the names, but these partners really make it possible not only to align with what the GRC market has to offer, but also provide their insights and their learnings and take part in the community discussions. And I would also like to quickly have the MetricStream stand up so that people recognize, they are the team who are not only serving this summit, but also behind the scenes working with you to make your journey successful. Whether it is, we have both global leadership and the European leadership, John Palmero, Brenda's not here yet, French, Vasant, Piyush, Nilesh, Michael Halbeck, Chris Leong, Steve Kearney, you met with Ian. There's other people in the room who you can please reach out and see if there is any help you require over the next couple of days. And last but not the least, our Executive Chairman, Gunjan Sinha. I'm privileged to introduce him as he comes to give his keynote today. Gunjan has been responsible for leading MetricStream's overall strategy and execution. Gunjan currently serves on the board of directors of not only MetricStream, but also several Silicon Valley companies, and was appointed in 2010 to the board of the US-India Science and Technology Research Endowment Fund by the US State Department to promote entrepreneurship and innovation. He also serves as the chairman of CFHI.org, which brings transformative healthcare education to underserved communities across the world. Over the course of his career, Gunjan has spent over 25 years in various entrepreneurial, board, and executive positions, building innovative businesses. He was the co-founder and president of Whoware, a leading internet, first-generation directory and services company when the internet was just starting, and was acquired by Lycos in 1998, as well as eGain, an online customer service company which he built from inception to post-NASDAQ IPO. Gunjan has from an education perspective, Gunjan has obtained his bachelor's from the IIT in India, and then from UC Santa Cruz, and master's from Stanford in California. Gunjan has also been featured as one of the 50 most successful immigrant entrepreneurs in the US by Silicon India. My privilege to welcome